Welcome to Lively Lewis Stories.
Buckle up, because you're about to join Levi and Ivy on an adventure.
All you need is your imagination, and off we
go! Lively Lewis Stories!
Hey, Levi and Ivy, do you remember that rainy summer day last year? We were both super bored and decided to make up that really silly story about decorating a unicorn cupcake that magically turned into a real unicorn made out of cupcakes, and I messed up our whole kitchen.
Yeah, but it was not a silly story. It was real. Told you 100 times.
Of course, there was definitely a real unicorn made out of cupcakes playing in our kitchen with you on a rainy summer afternoon. It was such a great story. One of my favorites from you two for sure.
I'm happy you liked it, but it wasn't a story. Yes, Princess Summershine. It was a real cupcake unicorn that played with us.
You two have such great imaginations. I remember it like it was yesterday. Your mom and I were working in our home office when you two rushed in to tell us how bored you were. We've played every board game, put together every puzzle, and drew every picture we can think of, said Levi as he slumped down onto the floor. We read all our books, watched every show, and even tried to learn how to juggle. We are so bored, added Ivy. What can we do now? Oh, that's great. If you have nothing to do, then you can clean your rooms, sweep the floors, and dust all the shelves in the living room, giggled your mom, knowing what your answer would be. And then you can clean out the attic and the basement. I've got a whole list of fun stuff for you to do. We're not that bored, you both said together. But really, what can we do that's fun? Levi asked. I wish the rain would stop so we could play outside, added Ivy. And what would you do if you were outside? I asked. I'd play frisbee or run through the sprinkler, exclaimed Levi. Or play in the sandbox and make sand cakes. I'd play store in my playhouse or have a picnic with my dolls, exclaimed Ivy. Or I'd play in the sandbox and make sand cakes. Well, it seems there's one thing that you'd both like to do, Mom said. You want us to go play in the sandbox? In the rain? Asked Levi, looking confused. No, but you two can get creative in the kitchen. Since you both want to make sand cakes, how about we switch that up a little and you can frost and decorate the cupcakes I just made this morning? Suggested Mom. That would be great. Then Dad could eat them all because we don't like cupcakes, you both said.
What? That's not what we said. Yeah, Daddy, we love cupcakes.
Okay, so maybe you two like cupcakes a little bit, but that's not even the best part of the story. So then remember you two heading to the kitchen with Mom, taking out all the cupcake decorating stuff? We'll need sprinkles, chocolate chips, frosting, caramel sauce, food coloring, gumballs, Ivy began. Hold on there, kiddos. That's a lot of stuff that can make a big mess, said Mom. How about we start with some frosting, sprinkles, and some silly candy eyes? You kids agreed, and off you went decorating cupcakes, while Mom headed back to the office. Now this is where your silly story begins, and it's just the best. Again, you two have amazing imaginations. Later that day, we found the kitchen a complete mess. You told us this is how it all happened. Let's make cupcakes that look like dinosaurs, Levi insisted. You always want to make dino everything. How about this time we make unicorn cupcakes, Ivy suggested. You always want to make unicorn everything, said Levi. How about you make some unicorn cupcakes and I'll make some dinosaur cupcakes. Then we'll bring one of each to Mom and Dad for a taste test. Sounds good, Ivy said as she reached into the cupboard and got the food coloring that Mom had just put away. Ivy, Mom said you would make a mess, reminded Levi. It's okay. I'm just going to use a little bit, said Ivy. After all, I need to make rainbow frosting for the cupcake unicorn's mane. And what's a cupcake unicorn without a rainbow mane? Levi shrugged his shoulders with a sigh and got back to making his dino cupcakes. Then you said you both kept taking more and more baking decorations out of the cupboard to make your cupcakes amazing. The kitchen was getting messy, but not nearly as messy as it was when your mom and I just saw a little while later.
Dad, do you really think Ivy and I can make a mess that big by ourselves?
Oh yes, I definitely think you could make a mess that big. Have you two never seen your playroom after a playdate with one of your friends? Anyway, you both said everything was going along totally normal until Ivy made the unicorn cupcake mane. She took each color of frosting, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, and swirled them together in one of Mom's bakery piping bags. Then you said when you put the frosting on the cupcakes, something unusual happened. Levi, can you hold my unicorn cupcake still for me? This is the last step, the rainbow mane, and it has to be perfect, said Ivy. Levi grabbed the cupcake as Ivy held the piping bag over it. She began to squeeze out the swirly rainbow frosting when all of a sudden it started to shimmer, glitter, and glow.
That's right, just like we told you. And all in the sun, the unicorn cupcake was alive, standing right there in the kitchen. It was so beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure it was. Then you went on to tell us that the unicorn was full size, but completely made out of cupcakes with a rainbow frosting mane, candy eyes, and sprinkles for spots on its powdered sugar coat, right?
Yep, that's right.
Then the cupcake unicorn decided it would be best to celebrate the fact that it was real by having a dance party, complete with a food fight in our kitchen.
Correct again.
And you two had no part in making the mess?
Well, we didn't say that. We just said the cupcake unicorn was making the mess too.
This is actually my favorite part of the story. By some type of baking magic made when Ivy combined all the frosting colors of the rainbow in one piping bag, a cupcake unicorn appeared in our kitchen. You were so excited you didn't tell Mom and I what was going on so we could join in the fun. But instead you played and danced with the cupcake unicorn in our kitchen and made a huge mess that took like 3 days to clean up. Actually, I think I saw another sprinkle on the ceiling just yesterday.
But we have to stay in the kitchen. After all, it was raining outside.
Good point, Ivy. Let's wrap up the story. You both had a food fight / dance party with the cupcake unicorn.
Her name was Princess Summershine.
Yes, I'm sorry. So you had a food fight / dance party with Princess Summershine until she told you she had to return to the land of sweets?
It was Sweetville. But yes, that's right.
And she wasn't really into helping you clean up the kitchen at all?
We told her she didn't have to.
So instead, Mommy and I had to clean up with your help. It took a while, but we got it done. And to this day, you two stick to your story that there really was a unicorn made out of cupcakes in our kitchen that day that helped you make that mess.
You can never explain the chocolate hoof mark on the fridge.
That's true. And I will say, I often think about it. So wait a minute. There really was a cupcake unicorn in our house? And I missed it? Ivy, can you make it reappear? I'll get you more food coloring.
Princess Summershine did say she loved to visit again.
That's great. I'll have Mom make some more cupcakes today, and we'll see if we can have ourselves another food fight / dance party. Either way, we get cupcakes.
Yay!
Did you learn a lesson from this story?
If so, what was it?
And parents, do your kids have a story idea?
Leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, the idea, and your kid's name for a chance to join Levi and Ivy on their next adventure. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. Come back for more.